Delaware is at a political stalemate, wondering which way Beau will go. And help is on the way to fight crime in Wilmington. This is the Delaware Way. I'm Larry Menti. Welcome to the Delaware Way. When you talk about politics in Delaware, one name dominates: Biden. Specifically, Beau Biden. I know his father's the vice president, but he's dominating discussion right now. And someone who's written about Beau Biden quite extensively for Delaware Online and the News Journal is Jonathan Starkey. And so we're going to spend some time just talking about what Beau Biden's going to do, because everybody's looking ahead to the governor's race.
Right.
And this one name and one decision dominates every discussion. Things change if Beau Biden doesn't run. If Beau Biden runs, it's just assumed that he's going to win. I know the Republicans would be upset about that, but his recognizability, his popularity is so high, and he already has the registration, you would think that he would at least have an easy path if he doesn't stumble. The question is, why hasn't he come out and made any appearances? Why isn't he campaigning?
Yeah, we wrote about this recently, and I don't really know the answer to that. I mean, I think that at least people working for him have said that he'll talk about 2016, that when he thinks he's ready and when he thinks the time is right to talk about it. For a while, we had requested interviews. Now, I guess a little background: he served 2 terms in the Attorney General's office, and he left in January.
Run for governor.
Essentially to run for governor, right? He said back in April of last year, that he didn't think it would be fair to seek votes for a 3rd term as Attorney General, because he intended to pursue the governor's office. So we obviously spent a good amount of time trying to track him down in his final months and get some time with him and talk about what his record was in the Attorney General's office and what his intentions were for the governor's office.
Everybody's tried to do this.
Right.
I talked to WHYY. They have tried to do it. We have tried to have him come in. He's turned down all media requests.
Yeah, he's not talking much, which number one, I just think is just noteworthy in itself, that here's a declared candidate for governor who's not talking. He's not talking to the media. He's not making significant public appearances. He's not delivering public comment on important issues, even criminal justice issues. I mean, he kind of was not around to talk about, the fallout in the wake of police-involved killings in Ferguson and New York, even as protests were happening here, and the like. So he has not acted like a high-profile political candidate in the last several months. I think that's by design.
He hasn't acted like a politician, period. He hasn't acted like an attorney general that's leaving the office. Normally, you would be doing some stories about what you've done for the last 8 years. That hasn't happened either, which leads to, I know there's been wild speculation as to what's going on, and I do want to get into a little bit of that, but what are your feelings? What has your reporting told you is going on?
My reporting has told me that Beau just doesn't want to be in the spotlight, that he wants to put 2016 off until the time is right, and obviously, I think you're alluding to the fact that a lot of this coincides with health issues that he's had. In August 2013, he had a small lesion removed from his brain at Texas Cancer Center, and obviously had some time off for that. And in November 2013. His doctor, according to a statement we got a few months later, gave him a clean bill of health. So my question has been,
So you don't think it's health concerns?
I mean, it's not clear if it's health concerns, but look, he said it's not health concerns. He said he's running for governor. I think to some extent we have to say, okay, well, if it's not health concerns, then what's keeping him from the spotlight?
Let's stay with the health concerns for one moment, because you mentioned the clean bill of health. That was given by a doctor a while ago.
November 2013.
Right. And with the problems he had, it's not inconceivable that he could have a relapse, or he could run into some other problems, or they could tell him that no, because of what you've gone through, you can't do this. Again, we don't know if any of that's true.
Right.
But when you don't answer questions, and when you're not out, speculation's going to rise. But the scenarios I painted out, you found no proof of any of that.
I mean, I don't have reportable proof that he currently is going through a health problem. Now, with that said, I think that he has allowed the he's kind of given rise to the speculation just by his ongoing, by not being willing to be interviewed by the press. I think his last substantial interview was September 2013. By not giving public comments on issues you'd expect him to give public comments on, despite generally not being available, I think that he's given rise to a lot of speculation about whether, is he healthy and is he going to be healthy enough to run for governor in 2016. When we wrote this story a couple weeks ago, I thought it was worth exploring. Now, don't forget that. Now, that's an important consideration, his health. But if Beau Biden is healthy, as he says he is, and as the doctors say in November 2013 said he was, where is he? Does he like this? This is a small state that kind of is driven, at least the political world, is driven by retail politics. I mean, Governor Jack Markell shows up to every ribbon cutting in the state. Senator Tom Carper loves to shake hands. And Beau Biden is a tremendous exception to that rule.
Is there a chance that here we are spending 10 minutes talking about this, and he doesn't have to do anything? He doesn't have to show himself. And you wrote a piece, and everybody's talking about it. And the fact that everybody's talking about him running is a great way to run.
Well, maybe, but yeah, he probably. I mean, he also has a record to run on. He's been elected statewide twice.
Well, I get it. I mean,
his name is Joseph Biden.
Yeah.
So
I get it. But this might be an interesting campaign.
Oh, no doubt.
strategy.
Yeah, people are still talking about Beau, right? Yeah. So him being out of the spotlight has not prevented people from talking about him. I think that's cut both ways. I think that like I said before, that he has given rise to speculation about his health because he hasn't been in the public spotlight. So I think that's probably bad for him. But he also, like I say, has a name and a record to run on, and we'll look more into that record as time goes on. So
all that goes away if he says I'm going to run. All the things about his health and anything about him not talking to the press, that as soon as he says I'm running, that all goes away, and he starts anew. And I think he knows that. But we have to wrap this up, Jonathan. I really appreciate you coming in. Jonathan Starkey, who's actually becoming a regular on the show because of what you write about. I really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
You can read his writings on DelawareOnline.com and, of course, in the News Journal. And we're coming right back to talk about the heroin epidemic in the area.